Okay, I'll go get something to break it with. Wait, right here. Inside the rec room, Sakura still hadn't moved on an inch. She's still unconscious, right? Is she okay? I mean, it's Sakura, so I'm sure. Kyoko didn't reply. There was only silence. But that silence didn't last long. Here. I found a broom in the classroom. Use it.
Makoto.
You can handle this, right, Makoto?
Please.
Come on, please hurry. Okay, you two, stand back. I took hold of the broom and swung as hard as I could. Aiming directly at the window, all it took was one solid hit. The window shattered into 100 pieces, scattering across the rec room floor. I stuck my hand through the now open window and started jostling the chair leaning against the door. The chair is pretty heavy, but if I could just... I pushed it with all my strength, and finally the knob turned. Sakura! I ran up to her as fast as I could, but the moment I laid my hand on her... No, she can't be dead. All I felt was cold death. No! I could feel only the last lingering warmth of a living body. Life had abandoned Sakura's body. And then...
A body has been discovered after a certain amount of time, which you may use.
Not
however
Sakura! Fuck, man. Danganronpa.
Huh?
Huh?
Sakura's dead? She's really dead?
I heard Hina talking, but my eyes stared steadily forward. I could only look on at Sakura's dead body. We didn't make it in time. It happened again. Muttering to herself, Kyoko began to gently inspect Sakura's body. I wondered what she was confirming, that Sakura really was dead, checking for pulse or reaction. I have to go get them. I have to go get the others. On shaky legs, Hina left the rec room. And why did this have to happen? That's all I could say. I repeated it over and over again. I need to examine Sakura's body. I just stood there motionless behind her while she checked Sakura's corpse. Time passed. While I stood there unable to do a thing, time just passed. And after I don't know how long, I got everyone. Wow. Oh, ogre.
Yes.
So she's dead, huh?
I see.
Sakura's been killed. I see. As soon as they arrived, Kyoko began.
Just a second.
You heard the announcement just now, right? So you know what this means. Sakura was murdered, and by someone in this very room. Is that what you were going to say?
Huh?
No. Whoever killed her, it's not just someone in this room.
It's your
It was one
fault.
of you. Hiro, Byakuya, Toko. One of you killed Sakura. What?
What?
You're accusing us before you even begun the investigation? I don't need to investigate anything, because you hated her. You hated the sight of her. One of you did it. I know it. You know it? Jeez, I didn't know your power level would increase by that much just by getting mad.
What the heck?
What are you doing here?
Come on.
Isn't it obvious? I'm here to hand out my little murder flyer. That's right. It's the next Monokuma file. And don't get so mad, Miss Asahina, or you're gonna ruin that lewd little face of yours. Now then, with that, hold on. There's something I want to ask you. Huh? It was you, wasn't it? You killed Sakura.
Say what?
Huh? Sakura wanted to challenge the mastermind to a duel. Maybe you and her fought again, and
In other words.
then I killed her? Sorry, not quite. Actually, not even close. The whole thing is totally irrelevant now. Sakura came to a most regrettable end without even getting the chance to finish things with me. Which, thank God for that. It saved me the trouble of having to go through with our little fight. Because even for someone like me, it would have been no mean feat to take down a behemoth like that.
Hey,
I gotta tell you, I was actually pretty worried. I mean, she'd violated a rule by attacking me in the first place, but I wasn't able to punish her.
wow.
So I don't know who it was, but whoever the blackened is this time, I owe you one.
What is this?
You owe them one? Oopsie. before you get all pissy potty at me, you better figure out who did it first. Because, I mean, your lives are all on the line, right? Woo-hoo.
What is this?
What the hell? He owes them one.
I won't
I hate
give you.
him. I hate this whole thing. Well, I, for one, am glad it was Sakura. She was working for the mastermind, after all. How can you say that now? Sorry, I don't have time for your squabbling. The next game has already begun. If you want to be angry at someone, be angry at whoever killed Sakura.
Anyway.
Right now, our top priority needs to be uncovering Sakura's killer. If we can't do that, we're all dead. Then let's decide who will stand guard this time. I'll do it. Hina, I'm okay. Just let me handle it. Besides, I want to be here with Sakura.
That's fine.
Okay, then Hina's guard number 1, but we need one more. Kyoko, that's you.
What?
Me? You're always a thorn in my side. This time, just stand by and watch quietly. Consider that an order. An order?
That's fine.
Fine, I'll stay behind. Then it's settled. Let's begin, shall we? Hold on. Before that, there's something I want to say,
What?
which is Hiro Bayukuya, Toko, none of you are allowed to step foot in this crime scene.
Huh?
What?
It's your
One of you
fault.
killed Sakura. I won't let someone like that come anywhere near her.
Stop talking.
Don't be stupid. Our lives are in just as much danger as yours. We have every right to investigate. I don't care what you say. I'm not letting you, the one who killed Sakura, anywhere near her. Even if it means I have to use force, you're not getting in here. Well, it appears further discussion would be a waste of time. How about a compromise?
It's all clear.
I won't ask you to let all of us in. Just let me in. What? You don't really care, do you? You're both useless anyway.
Yep.
Nope, don't really care. I'd rather spend my time coming up with another spotted fantasy involving Master anyway. And you, Hero? Do you really object? If you're going to go that far, what can I do? I mean, I don't have anything to hide, so why should I care?
It's all clear.
Then it's decided.
What are you saying?
Nothing's decided.
Calm down.
I know how you feel, Hina, but you should agree to this request. But
Hey,
we have to find out who killed Sakura.
correct.
For those of us still alive and to honor Sakura's memory. Fine, I guess that's okay. But no matter what, Bayukuya, you absolutely aren't allowed to touch her. Naturally, who would want to touch a filthy dead body?
Listen.
That's enough fighting. We need to focus on the investigation from here on out. Everyone keep this in mind. If we can't uncover Sakura's killer,
Listen to me.
all of us face execution. Finding out who killed Sakura, it's not a matter of hoping we could do it. If we want to survive, we have to do it. It's kind of hopeless hope. We have no choice but to just do it. Poor Sakura. I better check the Monokuma file before anything else. The victim was Sakura Ogami. The time of death is estimated to be around 12 noon. The body was discovered in the rec room on the 3rd floor of the school. There's evidence of a strong blow to the victim's head. No other injuries were involved. However, it seems that at some point the victim suffered from violent vomiting of blood. So she was poisoned.
Hey,
I think this case, the case this time might be a challenge. Why is that?
so...
The only way into the rec room is the door we just came through. And that door had been jammed shut with the chair inside the rec room. Which means the killer would have had to escape somehow after barring the door. So the door was blocked from the inside. And there was no way in or out till we broke the window. There's like zero escape, right? In other words, this is a classic locked room murder. Well, a locked room murder? I guess you might see this kind of thing a lot in the mystery movies or books or whatever. But could it really happen in real life and right before our very eyes like this?
Hey,
Are you curious to hear more about what a locked room murder entails? So sure, if you don't mind.
that's fine.
When you break down this kind of murder mystery, there are 4 basic types. The first type is when the locked room, god damn it. The locked room is created after the actual crime is committed. This simply means that the killer commits his crime, then through some special method seals the room. This mainly involves some sort of trick involving the locking of the room. Basic approaches includes using a string or simple mechanism. There are a number of variations. So for that, with all we'd have to do is check the door to see if that's what it was, right?
Correct.
The second type is when the locked room already exists before the crime is committed. Oh?
In other words,
Basically, the killer uses a special contraption or tool from outside to target the victim inside. You push the switch and it fires a handgun. You shoot an arrow through a gap in the door or something like that.
however,
But in this case, that doesn't seem to fit. There are no guns or arrows in the school, and the door doesn't have any gap that would allow it. Yeah, I think we could probably cross that one off the list.
it's true.
The third type is when the killer stays in the room until it's opened up. What do you mean by that?
In other words,
They stay hidden, and when the door is open, they use the confusion to blend in with the group. They pretend they showed up along with everybody else, and that's that. That sounds like it could have been possible, maybe.
it's true.
And then the fourth and final type is when it wasn't actually a locked room at all. Not a locked room.
In other words,
By that I mean there actually is an alternate escape route somewhere within the room. You see this a lot in novels and things, but in reality, it's generally not possible. Then you think we can cross that one off too?
indeed.
I believe so, yes. So when it comes to locked room mysteries, those are the basics. So there are 4 possibilities. Then, Kyoko, which of those 4 choices seems the most likely in this case?
It's true.
That's a good question. Answering that should be our primary focus during this trial. But right now, I can't really say. I see. The way the killer set up the locked room. Until I figured that out, the truth behind Sakura's death will stay hidden. It's definitely a tough mystery. I need to concentrate and investigate as much as I can. For Sakura, if nothing else. This looks like some kind of rapper.
Huh?
That's... Do you recognize it, Hina?
Well,
Not till the end of next month. I think the date was like the 20th of February. Well, yeah, I mean, I gave it to her. Yeah, I know. That's a candy wrapper. Sakura got super upset when she found out Genocide Jack had attacked me, right? So after we left the nurse's office, I gave it to her. I thought it might help calm her down a little. So he gave that candy to Sakura. I found a big box of it in the warehouse. I really like them. Yeah, it's not fun. Actually, as soon as we could get into the warehouse, I took the entire box back to my room. I made sure nobody else could get their hands on them. You really like them that much? But I wanted Sakura to get a chance to try one for herself. That's why I gave it to her. But now they've lost all their flavor. Hina. Polka dot candy wrapper. Okay. I'm gonna try this weekend. I think there are shards of glass scattered all around the chair Sakura was sitting on. The glass is all red, and there are the top and bottom sections of a bottle, right? So this must have originally been a bottle. Glass shards on the floor. Huh, there's something else on the ground near the glass. It's a figure. It fits in the palm of my hand. It's a Monokuma figure. Figure on the floor has been added. Okay. There are 4 red bottles lined up on the shelf. Yeah, that's what I was thinking about like earlier today. Inside each bottle, there's some kind of Monokuma figure. What I'm wondering is, how'd they get those figures inside the bottles?
so
It's no different from your standard ship in a bottle. Huh? You know, where the bottle's opening is smaller than the boat placed inside? You've never seen that? Oh, yeah. Maybe I have.
in other words,
So this is the Monokuma version of that. A Monokuma bottle, if you will. Monokuma bottle has been added to the truth. Yeah, okay. I feel like I'm finally starting to make sense of things little by little. The Monokuma bottle is sitting on the shelf. The Monokuma figure we found on the ground. The red shards of glass, which probably started out as a bottle. Which would mean Sakura must have been hit in the head with a Monokuma bottle, right? The shards of glass and the Monokuma figure are evidence of that. So I think it's safe to say the Monokuma bottle was the weapon. Yeah, that's what I was thinking. There's a blood stain in front of the magazine shelf. Must have come from Sakura, right? But that doesn't make it sense. Why is it so far away from where she died? Huh? The locker's open, and there on the inside, it's a handprint?
why?
What's a handprint doing there? It It looks like someone touched the inside of the locker, and it left a handprint in all the dust.
It's true.
Looks quite fresh, too. I'd say someone was hiding in the locker, and they left behind a little something extra. So then, maybe the killer hid in there until the locked room was open, don't you think? And during all the confusion, they popped out and joined the rest of the group?
Wrong.
Unfortunately, that's not a possibility. Huh? Why not?
Hey,
Think back. Before we opened the door, we looked inside the room, right? Oh, yeah. And the locker was already open at that point.
indeed.
So there's no way someone could have hidden in there until after we opened the door. Yeah, so then, what does that handprint mean? Okay.
What the heck?
We already know who did it.
I won't forget.
Bayukuya, Toko, or Hiro. It had to be one of them. They couldn't stand the sight of her. You agree with me, don't you, Makoto? Well, I don't want to say anything for sure without finding out more. Then let me help you find out more. You see, Sakura asked all three of them to meet with her. You know where? Right here in the rec room. What? After I went to the nurse's office this morning, Sakura and I both left together, right? Well, eventually she went off on her own. But when I saw her again after that, she told me. She said she left a note for each of them. She asked them to meet her in the rec room by noon. By noon, the Monokuma file said she died right around then. I'm telling you the truth. I heard it right from Sakura herself. And I tried to stop her. But she wouldn't listen. She said not to worry, that she just wanted to talk to them. And this is what happened. If I'd stopped her, by force even, this never would have happened. Hikina. It's impossible to not have regrets, I know. But the fact that she had asked those three to meet with her, and she asked them to come to the rec room at noon, the same time and place she ended up dying, it might be good to confirm what I just heard from the three of them directly.
What?
What do you want? You're bothering me. There's something I'd like to talk to you about. Make it quick. Is it true that Sakura asked you to meet her in the rec room? So you found out? Interesting. Then it's true? I did receive a note to that effect, yes. But what fool would do what it said and risk being killed by that monster? So you didn't go see her? Of course not. I ripped the note to shreds and threw it away. I haven't seen Sakura all today at all. Bayukuya says he didn't go see her. Is that the truth? Well, until I can prove it otherwise, I have no choice but to accept it as a fact.
Come on.
If you're all finished, please remove yourself from my sight. Oh, okay. Thanks. I love how he goes into a little bitch mode when like people like say shit like that to him. That's some kind of plastic container rolling around near the entrance of the room.
So
It looks like a protein drink, and it's empty. Sakura must have drank it. Everyone knows how much she loved her protein. And she mentioned more than once how protein was good for all sorts of ailments.
wrong.
I wouldn't take that to heart if I were you. I know. But still, this protein can. It's got a label on it that says Chem A2. That reminds me, Sakura mentioned how the Chem Lab has all kinds of health stuff. So she must have gotten this from the Chem Lab.
Just a second.
But that's strange. Huh? What is it?
Hey,
You see what's scattered around the can? Shards of light blue glass. They must be parts of the window I broke to get inside.
correct.
They aren't just scattered around the can. They're also underneath it. What does that matter?
So
I can't say for sure yet, but you're probably going to want to take note of it. I feel like it will become an important clue later on. Important clue, I'm not sure about that. It's because that thing was dropped after the glass was broken. The chair was shoved up against the doorknob, so we couldn't get the door open. There's no evidence that any kind of string or mechanism was used on the chair. In other words, there's no reason to think the chair had anything special done to it. I mean... I think that's everything.
however,
But for Sakura to have been killed, yeah, she's not the type who would go down without a fight.
it's true.
And she certainly didn't, I would say. She was the ultimate martial artist, strong in body, mind, and spirit. So how was the killer able to get the upper hand on her? I wonder, did someone get the upper hand on her? They must have taken her by surprise, right?
Certainly.
Certainly, they would have needed it to if they expected to stand any chance against her. Okay. We gotta go up to the... Well, who else are we talking to here? Oh, we need to look at the body, right? Sakura drew her last breath sitting slumped forward in this chair. There's obvious evidence of the blow to the head Sakura suffered. Pug! Okay, Viro, love you. Normally I wouldn't have any problem bleeding, that's what killed her. But according to the Monokuma files, she also had vomited blood. I can see a trace of blood on her lips for sure. So, what have caused her to vomit blood? Poison. Maybe her getting hit on the head somehow caused her to start vomiting blood. Not a chance. But Byakuya.
That's fine.
However, your eyes have landed on a most interesting location. Interesting.
Naturally.
Yes, most interesting. Don't you agree? No, I don't think I'd call it interesting, but it does make me wonder. The reason Sakura vomited blood absolutely has to be connected to why she died. Yep.
Hey. Certainly.
Yeah, Sakura got killed.
So... Hey. Correct. So...
Okay.
Don't make me repeat myself.
Okay, well that is...
What the heck?
We don't even know who did it. Byakuya, Toko, or Hiro. It had to be one of them. The fact that she had asked those three to meet with her, and she asked them to come to the rec room at noon, the same time and place she ended up dying. I feel like it's going to be... It might be good to confirm... Okay. Why do I keep feeling that I think it's actually going to be Hina? What? I've hit everything I could see in here. Milks. I already talked to Milk Sack. And why was the bottle broken over here? Yeah, I got the red glass shards.
So... In other...
A Monokuma in a bottle. I know, it's super sad, Pug. I Oh, her chair? Oh. Okay. Oh, we have to look at the door.